friends, it's Mrs. Walker. For our lesson today, we're going to talk about how we can create arrays and then how we can break them apart and look at them differently with rows and columns. So our learning goal for today says, I can use square tiles to decompose a rectangle. Decomposing is just breaking apart. That's all it is. Okay, so the materials that you'll need for this lesson are a dry erase board, a ruler, and 25 square tiles. So make sure you grab those before you get started. All right, friends, so we're going to use the tiles to construct a rectangle with 4 rows of 5 on your dry erase board. Label the total number of tiles. Okay, so you're just getting out your tiles, making a rectangle that has 4 rows of 5. So pause the video, make that rectangle, and then click play when you're ready for the next step. All right, friends, pause if you need more time. Otherwise, here's my rectangle that I came up with. What did you label your rectangle? Like by how many rows? And yeah, 4 rows of 5. Write a repeated addition equation to show the total number of tiles. All right, so friends, we could have written it 2 different ways. For this way, we would write 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 20. That's talking about the rows because there's 5 in each row. If we were talking about labeling with the columns, there's 4 in each column, so it would be 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 20. They're both describing the array, they're just one is describing by rows and one's describing by columns. So either way is correct. All right, so how can we decompose this rectangle into 2 equal parts? So if we were to draw a line somewhere in here, where would that be to make it have 2 equal parts? Yeah, we could split it across the middle, right? And then there would be 2 rows of 5 on one side and 2 rows of 5 on the other side. So we could split it right here. All right, so use your ruler to help decompose the rectangle into 2 equal parts. The way that you would use your ruler, friends, is you would right where my line is across, you're going to kind of sneak your ruler in between those 2 rows and then just use it to kind of push them apart so you can have a space in between. Okay, so pause the video, do that, and then click play when you're ready for the next step. Okay, friends. All right, so here's what it looks like now. So how many rows do you have in each part? 2 rows. How many tiles are in each row? 5 tiles. All right, so let's model this in a number bond. Oh, okay, we could do this. So we're going to write 2 rows of 5 for each part of your number bond, right? Because that's our 2 parts. So it's going to look like this. Okay, so pause the video, write those 2 parts for your number bond, and then click play when you're ready for the next step. All right. So if 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 represented the rectangle before we decompose the whole rectangle, what number sentence can you use to describe each part? So we're looking for like a repeated addition number sentence that goes along with 2 rows of 5. What would that be? Yeah, it's going to be 5 plus 5 equals 10. And then our other part is going to be what? The same, right? Because they're 2 equal parts. So 5 plus 5 equals 10 again. All right, so pause and write that underneath your number bond, and then click play when you're ready for the next step. Okay, friends. All right, so what's the whole that completes our number bond? Remember, if we were to push it back together, how would we describe that array? Yeah, 4 rows of 5. So add the whole to complete your number bond. So pause it, add that whole to your number bond, and then click play when you're ready to go over it together. All right, pause if you need more time. Okay, so here is the whole for my number bond. So 2 rows of 5 and 2 rows of 5 make 4 rows of 5. All right, so say the two parts and the whole using a number sentence. So we could say that as the 2 rows of 5, 2 rows of 5 and 2 rows of 5 make 4 rows of 5. All right, so we're going to look at something different here. You're going to use your tiles to construct a rectangle with 6 columns of 2 on your dry erase board and label the total number of tiles. So pause the video, 6 columns of 2 with your square tiles, and then click play when you're ready for the next step. Okay, friends. So here we have 6 columns of 2. And then what did we label, or what did you label your rectangle? Same, right? 6 columns of 2. Write a repeated addition equation to show the total number of tiles. So pause the video, write your repeated addition equation, and then click play when you're ready to go over it together. All right, friends, so we have 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 12. That's describing writing a repeated addition using our columns. Now, if you were using our rows, it would just be 6 plus 6 equals 12. So either is correct. All right, so how can we decompose this rectangle into 2 equal parts? Let's talk and focus about columns. How can we split this with our columns to equal 2 equal parts? Yeah, we could split it across the middle, and then there would be 3 columns of 2 on one side and 3 columns of 2 on the other side. So just like that green line again. So use your ruler to help you decompose the rectangle to 2 equal parts. So just like we did last time, pause the video, 2 equal parts, just like we have on our line, and then click play when you're ready for the next step. Okay, friends. All right, so here's my 2 equal parts. How many columns do you have in each part? 3 columns. How many tiles are in each column? Yeah, 3. Or I'm sorry, 2 tiles. There's 3 rows or 3 columns with 2 in each column. So let's model this in a number bond. Okay. So we're going to write 3 columns of 2 for each part. Friends, you can pause and write this, or you could just follow along. That's okay. All right, so if 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 represented the rectangle before we decompose the whole rectangle, what number sentence can you use to describe each part? Yep, 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. That would be the same for both. So you guys can pause the video and write that in, or we could just follow along. It's okay. All right, so what's the whole number that completes this number bond? Yeah, it's 6 columns of 2. So we would add that to our number bond. So go ahead and add that to your number bond if you're writing it. If not, keep playing, and then we'll go over it together. All right, so here is my whole, 6 columns of 2. So say the 2 parts and the whole using a number sentence. Yeah, so 3 columns of 2 and 3 columns of 2 make 6 columns of 2. Okay, so we're going to get out 16 tiles, and you're going to construct a rectangle with 4 rows. Now, it's not telling you how many are in each row. So the way that you want to set that up is create your 4 rows first, and then evenly put a new tile in each row until you get to 16. Remember, they have to have the same number in each row. So go ahead and pause the video, create your rectangle with 16 tiles and 4 rows, and then click play when you're ready for the next step. All right, friends, here is our rectangle. How many rows did you make? Yeah, 4 rows. How many tiles are in each row? Also 4 tiles. Write the repeated addition sentence. So pause the video, write your repeated addition sentence, and then click play when you're ready for the next step. Okay, friends, pause if you need more time. All right, so we have 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 16. What do 4 rows of 4 equal? Yeah, 16. All right, so we're going to take away a row. So pause the video, take away 1 row, not a column. Remember, row, side to side. Take away 1 row, and then click play when you're ready for the next step. All right, friends, here goes 1 row. Bye-bye. All right, so what's the new total for the rectangle, and how do you know? Okay, well, there's a couple different ways that I've heard students say this. So it's 12 because 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 12. Okay, so they're looking at the rows and how many are in each row. Oh, it's 12 because 16 minus 4 equals 12. So they're taking our last array, which was 16, and they're subtracting 4, which is subtracting 1 row. Okay, that makes sense too. And then 3 fours is 12. Oh, okay, so they just knew that when they looked at this array. Okay, cool. So those are different ways to be able to know the new total. All right, so now we're going to take away 1 column. So pause the video, take away 1 column, and then click play when you're ready for the next step. All right, bye-bye 1 column. All right, so what's the new total for the rectangle, and how do you know this time? Okay, so we have 9 because there's 3 rows of 3, and 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 9. Okay, that's one way. And then I see 3 threes, so that's 9. You can skip count by 3s, right? And then there's 9 because 12 minus 3 equals 9. So that's subtracting from our previous array, our rectangle. Okay, those all make sense. All right, so now we're going to count out 25 tiles, and you're going to construct a rectangle with 5 rows. So we're going to do the same thing we just did with our 16 tiles, but now you're doing it with 25. So go ahead and pause the video, create your array, or your rectangular array, with 25 tiles with 5 rows. Okay? All right, friends, pause if you need more time. All right, so here is my rectangle. How many rows did you make? 5 rows. How many tiles are in each row? 5 tiles. Write the repeated addition sentence. So pause the video, write your repeated addition sentence, and then click play when you're ready to go over it together. All right, friends, here's our repeated addition sentence. Okay, we need to have 5 5s to be able to solve this because there's 5 rows with 5 in each. All right, so what do 5 rows of 5 equal? 25. All right, so take away a row. So pause the video, take away 1 row, and then click play when you're ready for the next step. All right, here goes my row. Whoop, it's gone. So what is the new total for the rectangle, and how do you know? Well, it's 20 because 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 20. It's 20 because 25 minus 5 equals 20. So we're taking away that 1 row from the last array. And then 4 5s is 20. So maybe you skip counted by 5s. Okay, those all work. All right, so take away 1 column this time. So pause the video, take away 1 column, and then click play when you're ready for the next step. All right, friends, say goodbye to 1 column. Bye-bye. All right, so what's the new total for the rectangle, and how do you know? So same kind of question as before. Yeah, so we have 16 because 4 rows of 4. And that's 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 16. I see 4 4s, and that's 16. Huh, that's good. That's what another friend said. And then another friend said there are 16 because 20 minus 4 equals 16. So again, they're taking our last array, which had 20 in it, and they're subtracting 4 from one row. That gives us 16. All right, I love that there's different ways to explain our thinking. That's pretty cool. All right, so high five to you guys for using square tiles to decompose a rectangle. Please head back on over to the module to see what you need to complete for your independent practice. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to help. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye, friends!